talking about self-help groups, the first thing I'd like to say is the full name is Self-Help Affinity Group. But the acronym SHAG is not, doesn't sound too good in English, so we leave the A out. But unfortunately, it is that A of affinity is important. Affinity is the relationship of mutual trust and support which exists among small groups of people in India. This is a traditional strength of our country, especially in the rural areas, even in the urban areas. And the self-help group is built on strengths. The first strength is affinity, and the second strength is savings. Indians save, no two ways about that. It is this affinity and savings strengths of traditional strengths on which self-help groups are built. And this has been my rather strategy. We have not built on people's needs, because if you build on people's needs, you make them dependent. Self-help groups did not emerge as financial intermediaries. They emerged as an alternative way to build self-help and people's independence away from the current power structure of the society. Because if you put a cooperative system on a very structured society, Indian society is structured economically, socially, and that is how the small groups emerged. They emerged, therefore, as alternate strategies to build self-reliance. And since savings was important and they could save, that's how the women's groups were promoted. And women had saved, but they had put their money somewhere hidden in the hut, in the bamboo leaves. And so when we said, bring your savings out, so they said we have to protect them from our husbands. So we opened an account in the group's name as an association of persons and put that money there. That is how the self-help group started. Then when they wanted money, we said, you borrow. You have a group. I remember the first request was from a woman who said she wanted 50 rupees or 100 rupees to pay for her daughter to go for her confinement. So I said, ask the group, and the group lent her the money. And we provided infrastructure, training, the skills, the health, the education, and what have you. But livelihoods, activities, and other such activities on health and education were taken as loans. So when this started moving, then in 1986, I went to NABARD. So I said, sir, we have something interesting and I want 3 million to train these groups, because they've got strengths, they save, they have affinity, but we want to train them to run small institutions. And secondly, I said, we want to match their savings. If they are running well, if they borrow from their savings, repay and well for 6 months. So we had a performance indicator there. And to my good luck, in 1997, he gave us 1 million, not 3 million. And an NGO like my Rana or any NGO can do innovation, but on a small scale. But you want to take it to scale, you need to have government's involvement. And unless you have government's involvement, you can't take it to scale. But in government, the second condition is you must have champions. And we did have champions formally. That was the lucky part of it. We had Dr. Rangarajan in RBI, first as deputy governor and then governor. We had P.R. Naik, who was also deputy governor and chairman of NABARD. And the great thing is NABARD continued to function and to promote self-help groups. So his successor, Dr. Kotaya, and then came Y.C. Nanda as chairman of NABARD. All of them supported it over a period of nearly 15 years. And also, I must tell you one thing. When the group started in Mairara, we called them credit management groups, CMGs, because we said, but when NABARD gave us the 1 million, P.R. Naik said, you change the name to self-help groups. So I did that. The first policy change was give a bulk loan to the group, let the group decide. After savings, credit, and all the rest of it. Second was give the loan to unregistered group. So it was Dr. Rangarajan who said, if the groups are keeping accounts and records, and you have records of all this, then let them work as association of persons and let the banks lend to them. So that was how the self-help group took off. The third policy change was to lend without physical collateral.